Well, the news is trickling in, everybody. Shout out to everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. So we'll get right to it, okay? Murakami was the Japanese left-handed slugger who was initially said to have his team was going to agree to post him early. He hired Casey Close as his agent, who's Derek Jeter's former agent, has decided to go back to Japan to play his final year there, and he'll be eligible age next year. Now, how does that make a difference? Well, number one, if he does that, he won't be subject to international money. So no pre-arb and arb. He can come here next year. He'll be of eligible age over 25 and get a major league contract like Yamamoto did, like Tanaka did, and so on and so forth. So it'd be a huge financial difference, especially if he plays well. Okay, and again, excuse me, he's 24 years old. He has 240 career home runs, right? And shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. I'll get to you guys too. But so, and again, how does this affect the Yankees? Well, number one, if they were interested in him, they'd have to wait until next year now. So does that change their approach at first base? And again, there's no guarantee they get him next year either. They could be outbid by another team for all we know, right? So, but if they're really legitimately interested, obviously they're going to go hard after him. And if they are, does that mean they go for a 1-year stopgap at first base this year? And then now you're looking at Luis Arias, you're looking at Josh Naylor, guys like that, even Carlos Santana in free agency. So instead of Christian Walker, instead of some of these other guys, instead of Cody Bellinger, right? So it could change their approach. And again, he also plays third base. So I would rather wait for him than spend $150 million on Alex Bregman or more than that on Willy Adames. Okay, and both of these guys are attached to qualifying offers, so they're going to cost multiple draft picks and $1 million in international money. And if they're still going to go after Roki Sasaki, which I expect them to do now because he's going to be part of a different class than Murakami, you can allocate more money to him now because you won't have to wait for Murakami. Okay, then I could see this stuff happening too. So it's going to change their approach. So what approach? We have no idea. But I'm personally a hard pass on Bregman for third. I'm a pass on Adames as well. Okay, and I'm a pass. I like Christian Walker, but if and this is an if they are going to go hard after Murakami, then don't expect Christian Walker to happen. Expect something to happen at first base. But this is all going to be boiling down to what happens with Juan Soto. And we're getting some good reporting now from Andy Martino. Because the Yankees and the Mets are all in on Juan Soto, right? So, and they expect the decision to be made during either before the winter meetings, which starts in 6 days, or during the winter meetings. So it's coming right around the corner. Okay. But I wanted to keep you updated on these news. And this is important stuff. Okay. Especially for us baseball fans and Yankee fans. And again, speaking of which, like Juan Soto's represented by Scott Boras. Boras has been busy already. Frankie Montez signed with the Mets, Boras client. Matthew Boyd signed with the Cubs, Boras client. Blake Snell signed with the Dodgers, Scott Boras client. All these guys are Boras clients. He's getting these guys paid. And if you're looking at the pitching market is getting paid right now. And again, this is why I keep talking about it would be a good idea to potentially trade Nestor Cortes. Because he's better than a lot of these guys that are getting paid, with the exception of Blake Snell, of course. But better than Boyd, better than Montez. And he's got 1 year control left on the cheap. A team would be willing to probably give a couple of good prospects or a good player with controllable years or something back for Nestor Cortes, and the Yankees would be able to replace Nestor Cortes as well. Okay? And if they happen to move Stroman too, and obviously it's going to be a little bit more difficult. They have to attach a prospect and have to eat some money. I get that. But there are teams that also be willing to probably take Stroman's innings. That's 300-plus innings that they'd be forfeiting with Stroman and Cortes. So I do expect them to bring in somebody. Okay? And I think we can all agree on that. Who? No idea. And again, like I said, if Roki Sasaki happens to come to the Yankees, I personally would not put him in the rotation right off the bat. I would start him in the bullpen, like Michael King. Work his way up to the rotation. He doesn't have the track record of a lot of innings pitched like Yamamoto does, like Tanaka did. He doesn't have that yet. He's got to build to that. And again, if with a big arm like that, I'd want to keep him healthy and develop him right. Especially with Matt Blake here, I'd want to do it the right way. So there's also a couple other Japanese players that could be posted this year of eligible age that are pitchers and some other folks. So, and I talked about the Korean guy, Hai-Sun Kim, last week. He's of eligible age too, which would be a major league contract. So instead of an international contract. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. And again, if you haven't heard, Matthew Boyd signed with the Cubs, 2 years, $29 million. Got another $1 million incentives that could take him up to $30 million. Frankie Montes signed a 2-year deal with the Mets. So that tells me that either Sean Manaea or Luis Severino or Jose Quintana are going to be moving on. One of these guys is going to be moving on. I do expect them to probably try to get a big fish like Corbin Burns, try to get a big fish like someone else here, right? But I also expect the Yankees, if these prices continue to remain high, I expect them to investigate the trade market for pitching and not the free agent market. Unless, because at the end, the fact of the matter is, Walker Buehler now is going to get probably closer to $20 million. Jack Flaherty is going to probably get 20 or 20 to 25 million for multiple years. Do they really want to pay this? It's crazy. I pretty much everybody, Hector, right now is reporting the Murakami news. It's all over the place now. And again, the market's crazy. Even Severino's going to get paid because he threw what he threw 180 innings last year, and he was I could see Sevy going back to the Mets. I could see Manaea signing elsewhere. I could see there are a couple teams that are after Manaea right now. I could also see Jose Quintana signing elsewhere too. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But Frankie Montes is going to replace one of the three. Which one? Don't know. But again, it's see post by Pat. Yeah, I saw that, Jacob. Patrick Bet David about the Juan Soto. Yeah, he was asking who could be better than Juan Soto at the contract. There's nobody better than Juan Soto at that value, at that price. Nobody. And again, we talked about this. You can spend the same amount. Let's just say Soto goes for 600 plus. You can spend 600 plus on 3 or 4 other guys in a shorter period of time, which is going to have a bigger effect on the payroll and potentially not have the same impact on the rest of the team that Soto would. So there's a lot of different avenues that the Yankees could take, but it looks like it's all going to revolve around when Soto signs or not. Because once the Yankees sign him, again, this also corroborates like all the other stuff. The Yankees are not out at 550. Okay, that was baloney. Okay, and if they were out at 550, we'd know that they were out already because we'd know that they were out because they would have already pivoted to other players, especially since the heat they would have gotten for being out on Soto at that low of a price relative to his value in his contract. They would have gotten torn apart. People would be trying to tear down Yankee Stadium. So they would have had to have pivoted immediately, which didn't happen. They're still in on Juan Soto. But so are the Mets, so are the Red Sox. So none of them has the lead right now, as far as we know. Any one of them can sign him. So it's the waiting game we have to play, unfortunately, right now. We don't know the specifics. We're hearing that he has 2 over 600, but we don't know the details on it. So 700, it's probably what it's going to cost, Jacob. We're close between 650 and 700. So yeah, and Fakey, yeah. Nestor for Arias, that's it. I mean, look, the Padres need a pitcher to replace what's his name? Joe Musgrove. He has Tommy John. Nestor could do that. Arias got 1 year control too. We need a first baseman here. This is a good fit. Okay. And again, it also leaves room in case the Yankees want to go after Murakami next year. Arias could be our leadoff hitter this year. Right? He could do a heck of a lot. Okay. So Stroman, I think they're going to have to attach a good prospect and probably eat $6 million of his money, which is fine. They'd still save 12, right? So, this is where it's going to start getting dicey and start getting interesting, right? And again, this is free agency. We're heading into the winter meetings. The GMs are going to be in the same suite negotiating with each other. Deals are going to get made coming out. People are going to be reporting, waiting outside these suites to report news. I'll be live during the winter meetings every day. So will Hector from Morning Brew Sports. We will get you the news as it comes in every single day. Okay, so just be ready. Make sure your notifications are turned on. I can't thank you enough for not only doing that, but for subscribing here and supporting the channel and joining our family. You're always welcome here. I greatly appreciate you. So, but shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all of you. So I wanted to go over this stuff, particularly Murakami, since he's now headed back. And again, the Yankees can now reallocate some of that money to Roki Sasaki if they want to do that. It allows them to, and to keep in mind too, I said this yesterday, this money that's internationally goes towards a signing bonus for the players. It does not go towards their salary. Signing bonus. When the Yankees signed Jason Dominguez, he got a $5 million signing bonus. That was pretty much all the Yankees international allotment went to Jason Dominguez. His salary is different. Okay, so Roki Sasaki, and again, keep in mind too, they're waiting for, Roki particularly is waiting for the money to reset so that teams that have money left in 2024 can add to their 2025 money, which allows them to get a bigger signing bonus. Okay, because he will be coming here, but he's not going to get posted until that happens. And once he's posted, you have 45 days to come to a deal. And if they don't, he goes back to Japan. It's that simple. So, I personally would not, Tyler. I would not go Horner and Bellinger. That's going to add $40 million to the Yankees payroll. Stroman, Pereira, Durbin. I think I want to keep Durbin here over Horner, personally. Horner's making $11 million a year for the next 2 years. It's less than Gleyber Torres got, but is he that much more valuable to the Yankees than Durbin is? Is his skill set that much more valuable? I know he's a 3-WAR player this past year, which is pretty decent. And I also don't know if the Cubs would take Marcus Stroman back either. So I would try to move Stroman to the Tigers or something like that, to another team. Even if we just get most of the money back and get a prospect back for him, I'm fine with that. So, we'll see. We'll see where Corbin Burns goes. I mean, the Giants, since they've lost Blake Snell, they've increased their pursuit of Corbin Burns. He's going to be a hot one, but again, he's also going to cost probably 7 years at a high rate, and his strikeout rate is lowering. Okay, he's 30 now, so keep that in mind. So, which is why it worries me. I mean, I'd rather go after Max Fried. He's going to cost less years, less money. Okay, if you can get him, or even Jack Flaherty, he'll cost half the amount of years that Corbin Burns would, right? And a lot less money too, probably half the dollars. So, and he's not attached to a qualifying offer. Fried is, Burns is too. So there's a lot of stuff right now. Shane Bieber could be a sleeper too. Yeah. That's pretty much right, Ken. The only people who know the offers are Soto and Boris. Yeah. Not Hector Gomez, not Carlos Baerga, not Randy Miller, none of these people. Okay? Exactly. They can't publicize their own. They can't do that. Okay? Scott Boras will leak strategically to get other teams to panic and bid higher. That's what he does. That's his job. That's why players go at Scott Boras, right? So, by the way, hit the like button, gang, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, we have over 100 folks, 100 people in here. I want to get those likes over 100. I thank you for it. But again, this is the other thing too, Matt June. Me personally, I don't see the Soto holding up moves for the rotation of the bullpen or moves for the infield. They have to address those moves regardless of Soto. So, and again, to me, a selling point would be, even if you make trades, even if you trade Nestor Cortes for a piece, right? Or trade prospects and you get a pitcher back or something like that, you can make a couple of trades and improve in areas without having to spend any more payroll. It doesn't affect your pursuit of Juan Soto at all. So they can make trades right now and who knows who knows? They might be. Cashman could be working on stuff that we don't know. He doesn't leak anything. Neither does Hal. So, I don't think so, James. I don't think that, because Shane Bieber is probably going to come on, have some type of innings limitation attached to him because he has Tommy John. He had Tommy John. So, the Cubs would have to pay upwards of almost half his salary, Joseph, to make it palatable. But again, he's got an opt-in for next year. He could have a terrible year and still opt into a $30 million deal next year. I don't know. I mean, if you get the Cubs willing to eat half that, maybe you consider it, right? So, Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But again, the numbers do reset internationally, and teams have their full allocation. Again, every team has their full allocation for 2025. Okay, that starts at I think it's December 15th. That's when you'll see guys like Hiroki get posted. After that, once every team has the money, because then you have every team bidding for them. Like, I don't think he's going to go to the Reds. I don't think he's going to go to the whoever, the Brewers, the Guardians. I mean, maybe the Guardians. I don't see him going to the Rockies or anything like that. So, Morning McMahon, what's good, my man? First base. Well, this is the thing now. Does Murakami going back to Japan now change their approach at first base? I don't know. Does it make Luis Arias more of a realistic trade destination, more of a realistic trade target? Does it make Carlos Santana more of a free agent target? Does it make Josh Naylor more of a trade target? He's going to cost a lot, Josh Naylor. Luis Arias would probably cost a lot, but you could probably do Nestor Cortez, and I would add another prospect to the deal to get our Luis Arias if they go. And the Padres would be wise to shed some of that payroll. And again, Nestor Cortez would give them an innings-eating pitcher to replace Joe Musgrove on the cheap. So it would address needs for both sides, right? So, well, exactly. Well, I don't know about that, Mike. I don't know. I wouldn't guarantee he's going to the Dodgers next year. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy. Well, if he came, I don't think they're going to add two starters like Bueller and Frieda. One or the other, maybe. I can't see them adding two. You never know. I don't know. I mean, we don't know what the Yankees are going to be doing behind the scenes. We don't know. So Mike Soroka, doesn't he come off Tommy John too? I don't know if he is or not. Yeah, I mean, Carlos Santana again. His left-handed swing is built for that short portion right field. He's a good clubhouse guy. He's a great defender at first base. He wouldn't cost a lot of money. Good contact hitter. He's a leader, so he'd be a good guy to get here. Even if try to trade for Yandy Diaz, right? Another guy. So they have options available to them. And again, you could keep Yandy Diaz. And this gives you an opportunity to see if the Caleb Durbin experiment works at second base while keeping Jazz at third. And if it doesn't, you can move Jazz to second late next year if it doesn't work, and then try to sign Murakami for third base, right? So there's options there. There really are options available. So I hope so, man. I don't know. Yeah, Mike Soroka, Achilles. Okay, that's right, Achilles for Soroka. Yeah, I mean, if you can get him on the cheap, or if you can get him on a minor league deal, he wouldn't be on the 40-man. And if he makes it, invite him to spring training, do something like that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, inquire that due diligence, but I don't see the point in Arenado, to be honest with you, Joseph. At least for the Yankees, I don't see the point. Yeah. If it was that easy, Mike Lopez, I mean, Sasaki would have just gone to the Dodgers already. He would have gotten posted and went to the Dodgers already. Right? So, yeah, well, that's the other thing too. Like Christian Walker is 33. He's an elite defender at first base, no doubt. He's a solid contact hitter, no doubt. But he is attached to a QO, meaning that if you have to give up $1 million in international money, that's like 15% of your international allocation. 15%, which is crazy. If you sign like two guys with a QO, you're looking at almost 30% of your international money. Forget about a guy like Hiroki Sasaki, then you're not going to have enough. So, and again, like it's Murakami's. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too. I think I would prefer Murakami at third base as well. So we'll see. Yeah, I heard the Twins might. I don't know. I'm not really buying the Correa thing, but they could trade for a first baseman. It could be Naylor. It could be Arias. It could be even Vinny Pasquantino from the Royals, if he's in. So, Johan, once Roki Sasaki gets posted, you know the Yankees are going to be in on him. They've already said they will be. So we'll see. No, they don't have a handshake agreement. That was baloney. His agent shot that down already, Mike Lopez. So his own agent shot that down. Yeah, exactly, Graham. He's not he's not ready yet to be a starter not at the major league level. He's only thrown 100 innings twice in his career, and it's like 102 and like 110, something like that. So it's not like a 150, 160. That's a different story. 110 in Japan. The next step is not 160 at the major league level. That would cripple a guy. So that doesn't matter, Mike Lopez. Doesn't matter. As agents saying, absolutely no bearing. He shot the rumor down. He said it, but it's not true. Doesn't matter if his agent's the same. But yeah, Tyler. I mean, Josh Naylor is going to cost a good amount. Yandy Diaz will probably cost a decent amount, but he's a worthwhile target to look at. Bellinger would cost, and I worry about the salary for Bellinger. They'd have to eat salary this year and next year, the Cubs, in order for it to be feasible. Luis Arias could be our leadoff hitter. So he's a guy I would look at. You could probably get him with Nestor Cortez and a prospect. So the Ace Avenue. Welcome to the family, brother. Welcome to the fam. I'm just talking about what's going on, talking about Murakami going back to Japan. And how does that change the Yankees' strategy plan for first base? I don't know. It's Tanner Scott. I think he's going to get at least $15 million a year, probably for at least 4 years. He might get more than that. Yeah, so I don't think Sasaki's going to go to the Dodgers to be sixth man. We can come to another team and be one or two. So, yeah, I mean, oh my God, if you can trade for Devin Williams and sign Scott, yeah, but there's no way I'm giving up. Somebody said, trade Spencer Jones for. I'm not giving up Spencer Jones for 1 year. Devin Williams, there's no way. But if you can get Devin Williams and sign Tanner Scott, your bullpen's going to look completely different. I would still I try to add David Robertson or Kirby Yates. Add another veteran reliever on the back end. You try to re-sign Tim Hill too. Yankees are working on that. I don't know what's going on there. So, yeah, the Yankees hot stove. Jack Curry's back tonight. I don't expect to get a lot of juicy stuff. He's probably going to tell us a lot of stuff that we already know. But maybe you'll get something worth, something that's going to pique our interest a little bit. But I don't expect, he might give us a steak, but I don't know if he's going to give us a sizzle too. But we'll see. No, I don't disregard the McMahon possibility, Joseph. I've mentioned McMahon for a year as an option. McMahon and Brandon Donovan from the Cardinals are my top two picks. If we're going to trade for an infielder, those are the guys that I want. So, nothing yet more. And all I heard is that the Phillies and the White Sox are working on Garrett Crochet. But sometimes these things take a while. Sometimes they need to happen at the winter meetings where they'll be together in the same hotel suite where they could just butt heads and do face-to-face negotiations. Sometimes that happens. So, yeah, ready to be an ace. I didn't say you would be an ace here. I know exactly what I said, Mike. Don't try to flip this on me, dude. It ain't going to work. Okay? I never said he was an ace or he's going to be an ace. He could be a frontline pitcher for someone else. Yeah, and say ace. Dude, Mike Lopez, stop being a troll, dude. Go troll for someone else, please. Yeah, he wouldn't be number one on the Yankees if he came here. Yeah, but who cares? Alec Bohm. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that, Joseph. Yeah, because he would replace Yohan Moncada at third base. Yeah, most definitely. So, I mean, believe me, if we can get Ryan McMahon, sign me up, baby. It would probably cost Caleb Durbin, though. And that's my This is where I'm a little, I'm a little worried about that. It's, I do think we have speedy guys here. We have Jazz, we have Durbin now, Volk. We have aggressive base runners, so that the other guys can drive in our aggressive base runners. And I don't want to trade away our aggressive base runners for our contact guys, our hitters. So we need both. That's why it's going to be a tougher thing to do. Like I would trade Roderick Arias for Ryan McMahon. Yeah, yeah, in a heartbeat. Just like I would trade Roderick Arias for Brendan Donovan. Moncada, yeah, I mean, if you can get him on a minor league deal, sure. Oh, yeah, exactly, Graham. He wouldn't be the ace here anyway. That's why I said I said from the beginning now, I would bring him in if I could as the bullpen. I would work his way up to a rotation to keep his health, to preserve his health. Well, this is the thing too. Yeah, Jonathan, exactly. If the Yankees want to have some type of relative payroll management, you want to keep young guys like Durbin and Dominguez and some of these guys to play roles here. I mean, if you, there's one multiplayer trade I would make, and that's the one right here, Drew. Donovan and Helsley. If you could possibly get him, but I don't know if the Cardinals are going to move Donovan. They're trying to move Arenado, but I would prefer to move Donovan, and I would give more prospects for Donovan and Helsley. But I don't know if they would do it. So, but that would be the move I would make. You Correa's got 4 years left, but he's also getting older too. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it personally. So, well, exactly. I mean, these Japanese players, they pitch once a week. So here it's every 5 days with a different baseball, more talented players. So it's going to take an adjustment period for that to happen. So, take Matt's contract. I don't know. Unless you could take Stroman in return, I'll take Matt's contract if he takes Stroman's back in return. Make it fair. Yeah, CeeLo's in the building. Yeah, unfortunately, Miguel Santon's got a no trade clause. He's not going anywhere. He's got a no trade. If they get Sasaki, they'll give him Tanaka's number. Yep. It's CeeLo. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Sasaki. Not worrying about him at all right now because he's not posted. So yeah. Donovan is the one guy I would give up Durbin for. He's the one guy I would. Like Arenado, I'm a pass on Arenado. He could be elite for me. He's got first base, unless he's willing to take first base for 3 years. But then again, if you do that, then you're pretty much out of the Murakami sweepstakes. So, and if they want Murakami, say this is a decision the Yankees have to make. And I don't work for them; they don't pay me, so I'm just looking at it the way I'm looking at it. Oh. Well, that's the other thing too. Yeah, Stanton's our best playoff hitter. This is true too. That's a great point. Paranormal. What's up, my friend? What is happening? And again, yeah. Yeah, Pablo Lopez. Yeah, I heard that too. Well, if they're shopping, I mean, Helsley and JoJo, I'll try to get Helsley and JoJo instead of Matz. Let me see Steven Matz's contract here. And again, you want us to take Matz, you got to take Stroman. It's got to be that way. Steven Matz. Contract, he signed a 4-year, $44 million deal. So he's on the last year of his deal. Okay. And that's actually not as bad as I thought. So I would take Matz. Actually, wait, let me see. His stats, not his contract. Let me look at his stats. That's the other key. Is he better than what we have here already? Right? Steven Matz, this year was 1-2 with a 508, 33K. I don't know about that. If I can just get Helsley and JoJo, I'd probably do that. I'd do that. Jose Hernandez. Yeah. These people, man. These people. I appreciate you, Paranormal, man. Appreciate you always, man. You're the best. Yeah, I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna try and trade Cortez and try and trade Stroman to clear up money to go after somebody like Fried or Flaherty. That'd be my guess. Would I consider a 1-to-1 swap of Stroman for Montgomery? Yes, I would. I mean, yes. If the D-backs say yes, sir, I would. Ken, I would. Monty's familiar with the AL East. He's familiar with the Yankees. His left, yeah, I would take him. Yeah, sign me up for that. Kudos to Ken for that one. And you mentioned this before too, but I would. I would. Would you guys and gals do that? Would you swap Stroman to the D-backs for Montgomery? Appreciate you, Mike fan. Mike Sam, appreciate that. Dodgers fans are welcome. You get trolled by some sometimes, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think I would agree. Monty's going to get moved, and he's familiar with the Yankees. The Yankees, this to me seems like a good swap. So, third baseman, first baseman, lefty, center fielder. I don't know if we need a backup catcher. It all depends. CeeLo, I don't think we need two outfielders. I think we need one. But let's just say Soto comes back. He gets right field. Judge stays in center, and Jason Dominguez gets left field. If Soto doesn't come back, then I think Judge should move to right. Then we need a center fielder. Or center fielder that maybe then at that point they entertain like Byron Buxton from the Twins or something like that. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it's all going to revolve around whether Soto comes back or not, right? Well, exactly, Graham. Cortez can get us something back of value, and that's why you consider moving him. Yep. Fairbanks, I don't know. He never really took off any more than that, Sean. So, Randy Miller had a lot of the reporting on that, and he just never followed through. Maybe he's off the table now, as far as we know. I don't know. Yeah, I heard the D-backs owner. Yeah, you're right. Yes, he is. He said he regretted bringing Montgomery. Just, dude, take Stroman off our hands. We'll take Montgomery off your hands. Let's go. If you can make it happen, yeah. Well, I don't know if you can dump both of them, Drew. DJ's he's a 10-5 player. He'd have to waive his no trade clause. And he'll waive his 10-5 rights. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? IKF. I mean, I like IKF, but I don't think he's going to come back here. I don't think he'll be back. Yohan Moncada could probably be. He's a lefty bat, so he could be a cheap alternative for third. You can see the Yankees getting Soto, Roki, and trading. I could see that too. IKF, yeah, he was. Big Ant, what's good? What will be the call? That's a good question. Ryan's not that strong a defender at second base. Well, he's going to play first base, Big Ant. He's already moved to first base, Arias. And to me, it's an easier venture for him to place than second base. And he could be our leadoff hitter too. But Yandy Diaz, cost couple of prospects. I'd say 2 to 3 decent prospects. One of them has to be probably in the top 10 or top 15. for Yandy Diaz. Yeah, they moved him. He moved him like the middle of the year began the first base. So a rise. Look, if you can get a rise, it would be a good idea because he could be our leadoff hitter. So if you can get him, but why? And again, Stroman represents a good fit because he could replace Joe Musgrove in the starting rotation for the Padres this year. So yeah, I mean, I would expect Yandy Diaz to get traded. So Marlins going to trade. Yeah, I heard that too. If you can get Sandy Alcantara on the cheap, then sure, why not? Adam is back in rotation depth and see what happens. Yeah, I saw that, Hayden. Yeah, I would expect them to sign like before the winter meetings or during the winter meetings. So, which would be good, so it doesn't drag out to December, to February. And Boris is on a roll right now. He's getting a lot of his guys paid, so which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. How much cash is coming off the books for 2026? Well, you got Aaron Hicks money coming off the books, which is 10 million. And you got Cortez coming off the books if he's still here. Stroman coming off the books. I mean, I would say probably. Let's see. I'll tell you. Let's look it up, Ken. Payroll. According to this, salary committed to 2026. $187.6 million would be the salary committed right now, 2026. So it's like about 50 million, 60 million, something like that. Yeah, and so 2026, I'll just give it to you: 187.6 million. 2027, 145.1. 2028, 123.6. 29, 62 million, 61 million. That's it. Committed right now. So, all right, we got 74 likes. We're almost at 100. Keep hitting them thumbs up, gang. Let's try to get over 100. Greatly appreciate you. And again, like I said, just keep your notifications turned on because news is going to start trickling in little by little. And Boris got 2 of his clients signed yesterday. So they're going to be on a roll. And he's got 18 players he's representing in this free agents class. 18. Yes, he only 100%, man. Let's just say he got 5% of, let's say Juan Soto signs for $700 million. You get 5%. He gets $35 million in that. Scott Boras. That's freaking nuts. Why did Dodgers keep the Frank? I mean, to give themselves temporary flexibility now because they're gonna try to maximize their winning window, but it hamstrings them later. So, but let the Dodgers do it. Let the Dodgers do it. They're taking advantage of a loophole that's available in baseball. So, you know what I mean? Oakley's in the building. What's good? How do? I think they'll stay around 300. I would agree. Yeah, Boris did get bit in the ass last year. And he also lost Jordan Montgomery. He got fired by one of his top clients. So, oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to have to give up a decent prospect or two for Yandy Diaz. And you're right. Their scouting department is one of the best in the game. There's no doubt about that. 83 likes. All right, 17 left to get 100. I would agree, Ken. Bullpen moves is the way to go. And the Yankees have 4 relievers who are moving on. 4. So they've got a lot of bullpen pieces to replace. So, yeah, it's crazy. Sox will be decent. Can't sleep on the Sox, that's for sure. No doubt. Who's a big free agent next year? Right now, it's going to be Vlad Guerrero Jr. There's a couple next year. Not that many. The Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Bills are on it, man. Yeah, they got a lot of deferred money. So my first comment right now, Luis Arias, Carlos Santana, or Josh Naylor. And that I'm just saying that because it leaves the flexibility for Murakami to come next year. But again, Murakami's not going to be on the cheap next year. Remember that. He's going to be major league age eligible, so he'll be signing a big contract just like the rest of the folks do. It won't be on the cheap next year. It won't be no 3 years of pre-arb and arb just like Roki would be this year. No. I mean, the Vikings are on fire. I mean, the Lions are on fire too. Hicks's money comes off next year, Jonathan. I think after 2025. This is the last, I think. Rizzo's back is this year. I don't think they owe him anything in 2026. Why this is? I mean, yeah, the Yankees can allocate all their money to Roki Sasaki now if they want to. So, but they're already connected to a couple other top Dominican players and some other folks too. So I don't know how they're going to do that. But we'll see. Which report, big buddy? Yeah, well, that's the thing. Rizzo's opt-out is for 2025. The buyout's for 2025. If you're referring to next year, 2025, yes. Okay, so CBA anything. I think there's going to be a discussion, Oakley, on deferred money. But there should also be a discussion on salary floors because the Dodgers deferring money doesn't hurt baseball the way that teams that get all this revenue sharing pocketing it does. There should be a salary floor. Why are we punishing the teams that invest in their players like the Dodgers and the Yankees and the rest of them invest in their franchise? It doesn't make any sense. No. Yeah, $6 million buyout for the 2025 season. Yes. The buyout is for 2025, but it's not for 2026. It was an option or a buyout. The salary floor, I mean, that to me is a good idea. I don't think a salary cap is going to happen, so there's got to be a salary floor. No doubt about it. Yeah, I know. Comment exactly. Signing bonus was an NFL thing. Now it's going wildfire in baseball. So, yeah. Yeah. Jazz, yeah. I mean, I don't think Jazz, if he's going to stay here, he's got to be infield. He's got to be second base or something like that. So, he got hurt in the outfield. So, tax thresholds, yeah. Well, no doubt about it. I saw that Celsius slide. It was a fun video. Yeah. Looks like he's Soto's just having some fun, man. Yes, our salary floor has got to be like about 100 million. I would agree. Mm-hmm. Who would I trade to bring Devers? I wouldn't trade for Devers. I wouldn't trade for Devers. Looks like don't pay. Yeah, we do essentially, Graham. We pay revenue sharing. The Yankees give more revenue sharing than any team in baseball, and they give it to teams like the A's and some of these other teams who pocket the money. There's no requirement for teams that receive revenue sharing money to invest in their product. They can pocket the money. That's why they have great luxury boxes and private jets, but their teams suck. There's no requirement. There should be a requirement. If you're going to take another team, if you're going to force a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Mets or the Red Sox to give tens of millions every year, even upwards of 100 in profits, then those teams should be using that money on freaking players. Pay the damn players. Okay. Well, there it is. I mean, that's to me, that's one of the bigger problems in baseball. Boston apparently was planning on having Soto there as a DH in their master plan. So yeah. Oh, I think they will, Joseph. Yeah, I think they're going to get better defenders. And again, keep in mind if they automatically get better with Durbin at defense, so automatically get better in second base defensively and potentially offensively. Durbin's got a different skill set, but he could be a table setter too. You know, I like Nico Horner, Mike, but I don't know if it's worth. He's going to make 11.5 million in 2025 and 11.5 million in 2026. Unless we can offset some of that salary, where would he play? That's the thing with Nico Horner. I don't want to just sit. I'm not going to sit Caleb. Sit Caleb Durbin on the bench for 2 years. And I don't know if I would trade Caleb Durbin for Nico Horner. I mean, Horner's a 3-WAR player. That's great and all, but I don't know. I think I might want to go with Caleb Durbin because that's going to make it easier to get Soto and get guys to add to Soto too. That's why I'm looking at it. Yeah, the financial situation. I mean, it's skewed all over the place. He's gave 136 million in revenue sharing. Again, when people say they're sitting on $600 million in profit, that's not profits. That's revenue. You got to deduct 136 million from that revenue. You got to deduct payroll from that revenue. You got to deduct them self-funding the stadium from their revenue. And then when you deduct all these things, then you're at the profits. Yeah. Yeah, the owners have to vote this. Yes, they do. Yeah, they've got to do something, man. They really do. It's not fair. The Yankees give up so much money and these teams just pocket it. It's not fair. We also had Yorbe Vivas too. That's right. Vivas has positional versatility as well. So, but Durbin looks like he could be a table setter. He's a stolen base machine. He's aggressive. He's got very good swing contact rates, very low swing and miss rates. So he's the type of guy that the Yankees would need as a playmaker and an aggressive base runner, somebody who puts the ball in play. We need more guys like that. If you can get them on the cheap, well, there you go. Like Jason Dominguez got a relatively low strikeout rate too. That's why you keep him around. But if you're going to trade Dominguez, it's got to be for a frontline pitcher. I said the same thing about him and Spencer Jones. You're going to trade them, it's got to be for a frontline pitcher with controllable years. Oh yeah, they can spend they're more profitable than everybody. They made more profit than the Dodgers, even with Ohtani at the Dodgers. Their cash cow, the Yankees were still more valuable. Yep. St. Louis losing 70. This is where I'm talking like cutting payroll, right? Losing that money. I think San Diego's going to lose some money too. So this is where you could be strategic with trades. You go after Arias because he makes 14 million. You can go after Donovan and Helsley. Okay. I understand they want to keep Donovan. I would want to keep Donovan over an Arenado too. But it's a you can do it. Try to do it. And I'm guessing Cashman will try to do it, but I don't know how lucky he'll get. He falls apart, yeah. So we can get Domingo Herman, Aroldis Chapman, and yes, we could. Yeah, we can bring back Joey Gallo too, man. Joey Gallo, baby. Well, exactly. There's got it's got to be spending requirements, Jose, for the for baseball, just like there is in NFL. Yeah. No, I heard that too. How's not liking? Yeah, they can't force teams to to do it. Like that's not fair. I don't either. Ken, how the Cowboys are the most? I don't know. I don't either. Oh, same here, Graham. I would live in the outside the Cardinal Stadium. I would be knocking on the GM's door every day, knocking on every day. Yeah. We appreciate you, paranormal. Oh, we will. I'll definitely get on once we figure out what the heck the Yankees are gonna do. I'll give you my lineup and everything, my rotation, my bullpen, and you'll get it. You'll definitely get it. And Texas is a football state. This is true too. It is a football state. That is true. Houston Texans. You got the freaking Dallas Cowboys. So, yep, they're cheerleaders. Yeah, yeah. There's some decent cheerleaders. The Jets got some decent cheerleaders too, though. So, college football, University of Texas, Arch Manning. You got all these teams. 92 likes, or 8 likes away from 100. Oh, I hear you, Jose, man. Well, check out if you haven't seen morning sports, morning brew sports, uptown sports. They cover the Knicks. They do a great job with Knicks. I mean, Hector's on it. Mm-hmm. Uh yeah. Hal should have a box at every little market. Yeah, he should. He bought them. Exactly, Graham. Yeah. Well, not necessarily, CK. It's not them waiting on that's messing everything up. The Red Sox are waiting on him. The Mets are waiting on him. That's a Scott Boras and Juan Soto thing. They're trying to drive up the price. So this is the way that it works in free agency, unfortunately. But once he get, like you'll see, like these the little fish are signing, right? Once he's the great white shark. Once he signs, you'll see a lot of the big fish, the hammerhead sharks, the Makos, the Corbin Burns. You'll see a whole bunch of these things happen in short time once Soto's off the board. So, and again, like the Knicks are playing well. Um, you know, I really, really hope it's Soto and then a few guys. So the Brewers have reached out to the Cardinals, and why are you going to trade within the division? If they're taking offers, so if this is true, Ken, then I would. If I'm the Yankees, I would be all over that. If they're taking offers on Brendan Donovan, Cashner should be on the phone every day. Fakey fake. The winter meetings start on the 8th, so in 6 days. 6 days. No. But if this right here, Ken, is legit, then Yankees, please. We can offer him. Obviously, they would want the Brewers would want Donovan to replace Adames because I don't think Adames is going to be there. So, but Donovan's a better fit here than he would be in Milwaukee. And why would the Cardinals trade within their division anyway? Job. What's so good about Job, Luis Vasquez? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think at the end of the day, they can add a couple of relievers, a starting pitcher, a first baseman, and hopefully Juan Soto. So, but Donovan's been my top trade target for like 2 years now, Tyler. I mean, you've heard me talk about him forever. I like Yandy. Devin Williams, I like, but I'm not giving Spencer Jones for him. There's no freaking way. So, Brendan Donovan's my dude, man. I want Donovan and Helsley, please. I would give you Roderick Arias to replace Brendan Donovan. And again, the Cardinals are not going to compete for a couple of years. So by the time Roderick Arias is ready, you'll have him, and he'll be on the cheap for 6 years. So I'll give you Nestor Cortez also. Roderick Arias is our number 3 prospect. He's an infielder, a switch hitter. So it'd be Arias, Nestor Cortez. Probably give you another pitching prospect or something like that. That's what I would give, and I would start there for Donovan and Helsley. Mm-hmm. Well, you got that right, Javier. Yeah, you could definitely need to make moves. Yeah. Well, Weaver's our closer, but we need somebody to complement him. Ryan Helsley would be a perfect fit to complement him. And I think, oh, God, Donovan can be our leadoff hitter, too. He would be perfect here. Yandy Diaz, yeah, Talbot. Yandy Diaz is another good one. He'd be another good one. And again, if Donovan, if, like I said, if we can get Donovan, I move Caleb Durbin for him. Or I'll give you Donovan and Roderick Arias to get Donovan. Donovan's got 3 years of control left. He's 27. He could play second or third. He could play second while Jazz is at third. He could play third while Jazz is at second. It doesn't matter. So he'd be worth it. He'd be one guy I'd be willing to give up some decent amount for. So yeah, I can imagine the Cardinals. I tell my cousin, who's a Cardinals fan too, he shakes his head too. So Mike Rocky, so I would take a flyer on Kyle Finnegan before Jordan Romano, but if you can get both of them on the cheap, why not? Kyle Finnegan was also non-tender by the Nationals, like Romano was non-tender by the Blue Jays. So, I mean, it's worth looking at. But Finnegan, I would definitely take a flyer on. So, they could peanut. They trade for a catcher. Which catcher? I don't know. Well, there was a tough. So Ken Rosenthal proposed a trade with the Angels where he would send Nestor Cortez to the Angels for Logan O'Hoppe, who was their catcher, and then it would move Austin Wells to first base. Even though O'Hoppe can play first base and you can play Austin Wells behind plate. The Yankees have a bunch of catching depth, so I don't know if they're going to trade for a catcher, to be honest with you. I think they might trade away Trevino, but I don't think they're going to make a trade to add a catcher because they have like 5 catchers on 40-man already. And like, 2 or 3 of them are in AAA already. What are they going to do about left field? Dominguez. CK. If Soto comes back, it's going to be Dominguez. Yeah, Jason Dominguez will be the starting left fielder. Mm-hmm. You move Jazz to second, Graham, if Soto's in right field. Because if you move Jazz to second and let's just say you get Donovan at third base, I've moved Caleb Durbin. And I would want the strong arm to be at second base, and Jazz has a really strong arm in the infield. So the perfect guy to intercept Soto's cutoff and throw it to home plate. So at some point we need Judge out of center field. I think he'll be, if Soto doesn't come back, Judge moves to right field. But I think once Stanton leaves, I think Judge is going to take over as a DH. Get him out of the field altogether. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. It's going to be crazy. Could you imagine Christian Walker and Brendan Donovan? Oh, my God. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I don't think Judge to first base is a good idea. That's just me. If Soto doesn't come back, who do I think the Yankees? Jurickson Profar, maybe trade for an outfielder too. Um, then I could see them going after somebody like Willie Adames then. So, but I would not go for Anthony Santander. That's just me. No, I like Higgy, but I think he needs to get a full-time job somewhere, Higgy. So I wouldn't take him back as a backup to be Austin Wells. Let him play full-time somewhere else. We have enough catching depth that could back up Austin Wells. Talbot, peace, brother. And I'll wrap it up in a minute too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. First base, it's going to be an interesting position. I mean, he's going to have to help the defense in the infield. But again, they're moving on from Torres. They'll be moving on from, that's the key. That's the key right there. So the defense is going to get better in the infield just by that token alone. But if you can get Donovan, Donovan's the guy. He's the guy to get. Really. He's the guy to go after. And if they're taking offers on him, then I would definitely be all over them. I hope Cashman knows that they're taking offers on him if it's true. I really do. Really do. But let me let you all go, gang. So let me do one quick check. Make sure there's no news that have come out since we've been on here. What do we got? No, Cubs with Matthew Boyd. We know that already. So they're adding him to Shota Minaga. They're adding another relief. So now they have him and Minaga and Jameson Taillon. So they got a decent top three there in the starting rotation. Boyd was a legitimate, asset to the Guardians in the playoff run this year. So, let's see. Yeah, that's it right now. That's it right now. Apparently, Clint Frazier's having a meltdown. He's having some tantrums to former Yankee prospect Clint Frazier. So, about what? I don't know, but it's I'm hearing here. And a scout is saying, according to a report here, that George Lombard is the only untouchable in the Yankee system. Meaning, like I mentioned, Roderick Arias, I would add him to a Donovan trade. I would add him and Durbin to a Donovan trade. If Carlos Correa gets traded, I don't know. Maybe goes to the Dodgers. No. The Mets add Alex Ramirez to a minor league deal. Okay, there you go. Minor league deal, get some depth there. Donovan and Helsley may cost you. I would give them Dominguez for Donovan and Helsley. Yes, they did invest a ton of international money in Arias, but if you can get Donovan, Arias is at least 3 years away from the majors anyway. So. Mm-hmm. Jose Ramirez would be crazy, but I don't think that's gonna happen. He's the franchise over in Cleveland. Yeah. I mean, I like Roderick Arias too. He's a switch hitter, got good skills, but George Lombard has leapfrogged him. So, and just like Dominguez, you also have Spencer Jones. Just like Jones, you also have Dominguez. So one of them is going to be an expendable in the outfield. One of them is going to be expendable in the infield, unfortunately. And if you can get a big piece for either one or both, you do it. You do it. So, especially if they're not going to play, if they're blocked. That's the key. Like, and again, you could replace either one of those guys. But if you can get Brendan Donovan, oh yeah. Lombard's an infielder. He could be. It sounds like he'll be the third baseman of the future, Joseph. So, Cleveland, yeah, they would probably burn the stadium down over there. Lombard's an infield right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so did Jones. Jones made an adjustment with his hand, gripping of the bat, and he cut down his strikeout rate a lot. Keep in mind too, people use that as their argument. Jones had Aaron Judge had the same problem in the Yankees farming as a rookie, same problem. You know, yeah. If you got Stephen Kwan, he's good, but I Stephen Kwan's good, but I can't see them moving Kwan or Jose Ramirez. I just can't see them. I saw that McCaffrey injury yesterday. I was watching that game, Jonathan. Yeah, definitely looking for starting pitching. Definitely. But anyway, no new news, gang. Stay tuned. Keep your notifications on. Thank you so much for joining me. That's the latest on everybody. The latest on Murakami, the latest on Soto, and everything else. Unpredicted Rule 5, would you trade? TJ Rumfield, Zach Messenger. You have until December 11th to trade them. December 11th is the day of the Rule 5 draft. That's the last day of the winter meetings. So you have until then to trade them. So I would trade anybody who I was not protecting from the Rule 5 draft that I thought might get scooped up. You try to get a trade for him. Try to package them in a trade. Add Rumfield to a trade for Donovan. Add Messenger to a trade for Arias, right? Giving the Padres the pitching that they need, giving the Cardinals the bats that they need. There you go. You can add them to other players. So that's what I would do. The Yankees farm gets rated every year in the Rule 5. So might as well try to get some good prospect capital back in return. So that's a good question, man. But same to you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Same to you, Beagle Dad. But thank you, everybody. Peace and love to all these. Have a great day. See you next time.